Leos, how are you doing? Welcome to your reading with me, Adrian Nelson of AHN Great Life.com. I hope that you're doing amazing. This is a general reading for 7th or 13th November. Okay, so please take it as it resonates. Sorry. And, if you want to go ahead and like the video, I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe so you get your weekly readings. And just before I get into the reading, just something that I quickly want to touch on because I've been asked about that by quite a number of my subscribers over the last couple of weeks. And that is about the regression hypnosis offer that I have. Now, if you go down below, obviously in the description, there's a link for my website. You can get all of that information over there. But just to quickly give you an idea, we are living in a space in time in this world at the moment where there are so many ideas that we are being presented with and that we are sort of told so much by others who we are. Some of us have taken certain sort of like medications and things into our bodies, into our systems that we are becoming very concerned about now. We're not really sure if sort of like, the powers that be had the best intentions to start off with for us. And so there is quite a global sense of fear that's going on at the moment because, the broader sense of being that we kind of thought that had our best interest at heart might maybe not have had your best interest at heart to start with. But the one thing that is amazing to know is that you have infinite potential. You have always had infinite potential. Through generations, though, a lot of our natural ability to heal ourselves has been suppressed by so many things, racism and, slavery and all this sort of like social kind of like, differences and things like that, that a lot of us don't really know the power that we have. But the power that you have is dormant within yourself. It's part of your blueprint patterning and it's never been gone. So when we do something like regression hypnosis, it actually opens that within us and, it can unlock that potential within your DNA. And no matter what you put into your system, you can override that because your mind is more powerful than anything else. All right. So if you're interested in more than that, you can always have a look down below in the description to check out more of that. And I also have a mind unlocking and psychic development course, which is all about really getting in contact with your mind so that you can have that direct communication with the eternal and incredible intelligence and the consciousness that your body is basically a representation of and that you always have. All right, so let's get into your reading, Leo. We are going to start off by using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. And the reason why I wanted to start off with the Good Tarot for these specific readings is, we live in a world that will tell us so much of who we are and we're not good enough and all those type of things. Well, you are good enough and you've always been good enough. And this is what the Good Tarot is focusing on. What are your strengths as opposed to your perceived weaknesses? And the first card that came out, there's a whole lot of cards that came out in reverse. I put them back in the deck, but the first card that came out there, and I'm going to draw 3 for you unless Spirit wants me to do more, is the King of Earth, which is the King of Pentacles, which speaks about your power and your strength and the true essence and the true being of who you are. Okay, all right, Leos. Let's see, it's time to shine, it's time to shine, it's time to bring out your light, it's time to bring out the beauty of who you are. As humans, we have suppressed ourselves for far too long, and for a lot of you Leos specifically, I find that many of the Leos that are sort of like in my closer capacity of life as well, a lot of you have been very challenged by what was going on in the world because it's almost like you had to suppress the truth of who you are. You couldn't shine that brightly because it was making other people uncomfortable. Well, you are being called to shine your light at the moment, and here's a reminder that I heard so many years ago that always stayed with me. Nobody has ever inspired another person by playing it small. If you want to inspire others, if you want to, empower others, it is about shining being that beacon of light that shines on the mountaintop, and everybody can see your light. And it's time to give that to yourself as well. Okay. It's time to look in the mirror and to once again fall head over heels in love with who and what you are seeing. Okay, Leo, let's see. So, okay, and then one more card. Ooh. Things are on fire for you. Let's see, one more card for Leo, please. What is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to understand? What is going to serve their greatest purpose going forward in this world? Leos. All right, so first card out is the King of Earth, which is the King of Pentacles. And then we've got the Page of Fire, which is the Page of Wands. And then you've got the Moon card energy over there. So, Leo, so the first thing to understand before I go into the rest of this reading is that we are all emotional beings. You know, we just relate to emotions differently. Because I think especially when we start to look at things like zodiac energy, for example, you know, we sort of look at, say, maybe like the air signs, like the Geminis, Aquarius, and oh my goodness. Anyway, doesn't matter. You know, and Libras, we look at them and we say, well, they're not really emotional. They're more sort of like in their mind. They're more sort of logical. It's all emotions. We just relate to it in different ways. And you, Leo, you are all about emotions because you are that fire energy, you are that vibrant essence of life. You are all about emotions, you are all about the flow of life and the truth and authenticity of life. Okay? So you are being called here with the King of Earth to claim your space in life. And especially if you've maybe been feeling down, if your confidence has been low, maybe you sort of started to develop maybe like phobias, or it's difficult for you to deal with the world. It may have been difficult for you to deal with the world for a while. You know, maybe you've, you know, had a lot of maybe say social anxiety where you get overwhelmed. Sometimes you go into big crowds and stuff like that. In Indian supermarkets, like I used to have that for so many years of my life, that I would try to avoid crowds. I would try to avoid shopping centers like malls and stuff like that. And funny enough, I worked in hospitality for many years, but what was wonderful for me is that I could be the one in control. And for a long period of my life, I tried to be the one in control. So I can understand that and I can relate to that. But it's time for you to shine in the fullness of who you are. To, you know, as the millennials say, to shine unapologetically. You know, it's time for you to become that version of yourself that you incarnated to be in this world, to stop playing it small. And as you do that, and we're not talking about ego or vanity or any of those type of things here, but it's just about coming from that point and acknowledging who you are. Acknowledging that you are a physical representation of universal possibility, that the universe has got your back, that life wants you to succeed, and life wants you to be happy, and life wants you to shine, you know, and you deserve it as much as everybody else. And, you know, when we look at people, so sometimes in life we look at people that, you know, no matter how hard they try, they just can't get it together. And then you get these other people that go through life almost like scavangas, and it's like they don't even care and everything works out for them. It is about the truth that you accept for yourself on a foundational level in your subconscious, what you believe your worth and your value is. That determines your experience of life. And it's time for you to shine. It's time for you to shine brightly. You know, like what's the name? Rihanna speaks about shining bright like a diamond. It's time for you to start shining brightly like a diamond cave that is cracked open and the sunlight is sparkling on it. Like, remember that, what is that series with the vampires with Bella and Edward, Twilight? Where Edward sort of goes into the light and they're all shining. It's time for you to shine like that, amplified by like 1,000,000,000 times 1,000,000,000,000. Okay? And when you do that, wonderful things come to you in life, wonderful solutions come to you in life. You finally break through the glass ceiling, the finances that you need, the life that you want. All the beautiful things about money and that money can buy start to come to you because you are activating that magical magnet of abundance, manifestation, attracting within you, and it's time to activate your magical magnet. Okay. There's emotional breakthrough. For some of you, this is a new beginning with yourself. You know, sorry, it could be with love, it could be with another person, but you know, tarot is about you. And, we've got this whole thing that people, are sort of like portraying to tarot readings that, all about love. And yes, everybody wants to know about love. And it's normal to want to know that. But here's the thing that you want to understand. When you yourself haven't got the balance within you, even if you hook up with the most perfect match for you, the whole twin flame vibe, it still won't be a pleasant experience because you are not ready for it. So you want to always focus on you, and when you've got your balance right, everything in life just works out for you wonderfully. Which brings me to the next point. Bear in mind the powerful manifestation capacity of your emotions. This is a space where emotions can take you up or emotions can take you down. All right. So yes, it's wonderful to be there for others. It's wonderful to support others. It's wonderful to, to be a team player and all of those type of things. However, okay, just be very mindful that you are not so much there for other people that you are placing yourself second, because then that becomes a habit. And what we put out there is what the universe reflects back to us. And when you keep on placing yourself second, you're going to start having experiences in life that is going to reflect that towards you. Okay, so make sure that what you give out is what comes back to you. And you can even follow the rule that I have in life. I will say yes to everything as long as I don't say no to myself. Okay, let's look at your tarot, recent, past, current, what's heading towards you. We're going to use the Light Seers Tarot for that by Chris Ann, which I really, really like. There's links for all the different descriptions in the description for the different decks that I use. And Chris Ann has got a new deck coming out, which I'm very excited about. It's a little bit more light-hearted because, with tarot decks, you get a tarot deck, it's a tarot deck, it's a tarot deck. Literally, and I've got so many. But after, when you find something that's a bit more light-hearted, so that's why I'm so excited about this deck, then it can really make a difference, to your energy as well. So recent past, Page of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles is the same card that came out for Cancer. Your cards are seeming to come out quite fast. For your current space, you have got the Two of Cups, and then also you've got also one of the same cards that came out for Cancer. So that's quite amazing. So in your recent past, you've got the Page of Pentacles. Big things are being promised here to you. In your current space, you've got the Two of Cups. So there's once again that space of things coming together, love coming together, peace, maybe letting go of the past, contracts coming together, unexpected beautiful changes. And what's coming towards you, what's heading towards you, you've got the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Swords, and the Three of Swords. Don't get concerned about it. And then we've got the Knight of Swords, which was also, I believe, in the Cancer reading, as well as the Five of Pentacles. Let's talk about this. This is going to be a slightly longer reading for you, but that's perfectly fine. So for some of you there in the recent past, you sort of got a little bit fed up with where your life was going. You said, well, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for a new experience of life. I'm ready to experience, like sort of like a new space. Some of you, you might have maybe started a new job or wanted to start something new or wanted to start a new talent. So there was that sort of starting, that sort of thinking, well, guess what? You are powerfully attracting that in your current space of life. Now, going forward, everybody's not going to be happy for you. You need to know that, okay? And for some of you, I want to encourage you very strongly to not take it personally. Because the thing to remember is that when people do crappy things to us, it is usually more a reflection of them as opposed to us, ever so often. So when I do my readings, like I'm streaming these lives, I don't even look at the comments, because ever so often there will be somebody that will put in all those funny little, comments and all those type of things. That normally stems more from their pain as opposed to from our pain, Even when I do Facebook lives, you get those little, crappy little comments that come in there. Are you even psychic? Are you taking a chance? Are you authentic? And all those type of things. Know that when people do crappy things to you, it is a reflection of who it's a sort of portrayal more of who they are. Okay. Because a lot of you, there's a lot of healing that you've done, there's a lot of challenge that you've gone through, and as you go forward, it is time to understand that a lot of the past that you have healed, it's time to leave that past in the past. It is what it was, that sort of thing. And, just be also mindful going forward. Just a little bit of a warning for you as you go forward. Just be mindful, because I feel that for some of you, you might get so excited about things working out for you in this current space of life that as you go forward, that you can go a little bit too fast, like a little bit too far too fast, that sort of thing. Where you get into a space where you might almost forget that you are the key. And this is something to remember, that you are the key, you are the solution, you are the one that determines your experience of life. All right, let's clarify. Let's see what we got, especially that energy that's coming towards you. I want to see what that's about. But let's look at that recent past first, and I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite for that. So you've got the bottom of the deck, okay? So Knight of Wands, the Hermit, and the Three of Cups. So this is really, really fantastic. I feel that there's a lot of sort of like strategic planning that a lot of you have done there in the recent past. You sort of understood what it is that you want. You kind of went with your emotions. And some of you felt very emotionally overwhelmed. Some of you, there was that sort of Virgo energy there, sort of like getting perception of things. Some of you have taken some time out, sort of like, taken sort of like a little bit of space to yourself to get some clarity about things, to maybe look at your health improving. You've maybe gotten some new friends over there, some beautiful new connections over there. Lots of beautiful things started to happen there in the recent past for you. Lots of hope, things really looked up for you, lots of support, which is really, really fantastic. Really, really, really great. And it has brought you to the current space, this Two of Cups. So it's important to understand that even though there were many wonderful other people involved in your prosperity and everything that happened in your life, it is because your vibration has changed and your opinion about yourself has changed that your life has changed, okay? Sometimes we just look at the planets and things so much, which is great, but remember that your life is not about what the planets are doing. They've got an impact on your life, but in the same way, you may not like the rain, but just because it rains doesn't mean that you have to feel that your life is falling apart. For the Two of Cups, we have got the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. So some of you, because that Nine of Swords is also going into your energy that's going towards you as well as here in your current space, some of you are ignoring the red flags. Do not ignore the red flags, all right? Some of you may be in a space where the very people that have encouraged you to do wonderful things almost seems like they have turned on you now. Okay, and for some of you, it's almost like you're making excuses for people that might be doing crappy things in your life. All right, no, they're tired, no, they're overwhelmed, that's not what they mean, etc., etc., etc. You want to sort of almost look at your success or your flow of life in the way that other people might be looking at it. There's a lot of change that's taking place in your life. There's a lot of positive change that is taking place in your life. Your dream is growing, but for some of you, there is still some unresolved things in your past that you need to look at. Maybe some childhood patternings, maybe some bad things really happened to you. You want to look at it. You don't want to ignore that, because for some of you, you are ignoring those red flags. And any problems that you decide to almost like overlook it where you are at the moment, you'll be like, I'm not going to look at that. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. I'm going to choose to just believe that everything's going to be okay. Some of you are taking that present pain into the future, and that may actually sort of cripple your success going forward. So it might not be easy to deal with certain things at the moment, but you want to do that for your own greatest good, okay? Do not ignore the red flags. Please don't. There might be, and this is the thing that happens, and this is a very sort of like ambivalent sort of energy sometimes where, when you've got a very clear understanding within yourself that somebody's not for you, they're not your crowd, they're not your person, they can't really sort of sit with you, then it's easy to say, no, thank you, not for me, that sort of thing. But when we sometimes get that people are in our inner circle, and this is the thing. Say, for example, you get a text message, or let's say, for example, you get a video call from a friend, What happens sometimes, you go like, oh my goodness, look at this. I don't know, should I answer this? Should I say that I'm not home? But then later on, I'm going to have to explain it. And then you have to put on the mask. Then you have to go like, okay, let me peep myself up. And you go, Hello, how are you doing? It's so wonderful to see you. Don't do that to yourself. That is disrespecting yourself. Don't you ugly word do that. Because going forward, you are going to create difficulties for yourself from that. Okay? Now, let's see, now that my cheeks are sufficiently warmed up, what do we have for the energy heading towards you? I'm going to draw you one more card. Okay, they say I must first do this and then I'm going to draw the card. So you've got the Ace of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Two of Swords. Yeah. Some people in the current space, and I don't like to give you bad news, but I'm in the same token, I'm not going to be one of those tarot readers that is only going to tell you pretty stuff so that you can like me, because that is not my job. There are some things that are coming to light, some things that you may not like. Some people are using, like sometimes we confide into people sort of like about our past and our insecurities and those type of things. There are some people going forward that's going to try to use that against you. Okay? That is sign number one, that make you doubt yourself. Let's see, what do we have for that? There are people here that it's almost like, a lot of times people want you to win, but they only really want you to win in a sense that they want to benefit from it, and if they don't, then they try to break you down. What do we have for that? Ace of Cups. Success is prevalent for you, okay? But in the other side of releasing, and we can release with love. We don't have to be those people that says, you are low vibe, I don't want you in my life. But it is when you can honor yourself first and really work on that. And what is right for me? And what is right for you doesn't have to be right for other people. This is your life, this is their life. All right? The things when you say yes to yourself that lights up your life, as you honor yourself in that way, that is how the blessings can come through for you. Okay? Let's end off and see what we've got for you in, what do we have at the bottom? Look at the bottom, North Node, step out of your comfort zone. But let's see what card we've got for you with the Moonology. So yeah, Leos, this might be a space where, you might have to let go of people that may have been part of your life for quite a while, that you may not want to let go of them. Full moon, surrender to the divine. Know that there's a big plan for you, and know that you can ask for help. And as you ask for help, the universe will come through and support you, because remember, we have got free will. And as free will beings, the help is always available, but we have to say, yes, I'm open to that to flow into my life right now, and it will. Okay? And if you've got, challenges, sometimes in life we get ourselves into tight spots, and you're like, sorry, I would like to release this, but how do I do this? You can ask for help. And solutions and miracles will flow through in ways that will blow your mind in fantastic ways. All right, and so it is. And if you are open to new beginnings and beautiful flow, place your hand on your heart, take a nice deep breath, and claim that for yourself. So that's what I got for you. I hope that it helps, Leos. Always appreciate like, shares, comment, and subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell. Also, if you want to be reminded of the beautiful being that you are, have a look at my website, link down below in the description, ahngreatlife.com, because I created that website to really remind you first and foremost of the beautiful, divine, unlimited being of abundance, prosperity, love, and light you have always been. Till next time, namaste, love and light. Oh yeah, sorry, for those of you going through a challenging period, I'm sending you love from my heart.